Hello, I'm Tim Krul. Welcome to Norwich City Central.
Hello everybody, Lewis, Norwich City Central. Welcome to some fan reaction. Look, we thought Norwich City might possibly go down this season, but there's a way to go down, and this is not it. Norwich City have been dreadful. Norwich City 0, West Ham 4. I've said so many times, this is our worst performance. 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 This one truly was. West Ham were average and they dominated the game and deserved to win 4-0. And even in David Moyes' press conference, he said they could have scored more. Antonio getting 4 goals. Norwich were dreadful today. And last season was one of our best in our recent history. One of the best in our recent history. This is one of our worst in our recent history. And it's quite weird to contrast between the two, because Norwich City, you would have thought if we were going to go down, we'd go down fighting, playing the fart ball way. We haven't. We've gone down without a fight, and I'm really worried about the future. It's certainly in the short term. I'm absolutely gutted. Norwich City are on course for their worst points total in their 118-year history, which, you know, says it all. Fan reaction. I'm going to be talking through some fan reaction in this 10-minute video, but most importantly, I'd love to hear from you guys down below in the comment section. Thank you for all the support in this season. Thank you for all the comments and all the interaction. It really, really does mean a lot to me. So thank you for all the likes, comments. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, we continue this conversation down below in the comment section. Got your thoughts on Instagram. I will leave my socials in the description. And then we'll be going on to like some more general fan reaction from Twitter, including from Alex Tetty as well. Haystow, embarrassing, heartless, predictable. Couldn't put it better myself. All the players were on different wavelengths, and you saw that fight last season, even at the start of the Premier League when we were losing 4-0 to Liverpool from the first half. At least we was trying to play the fart ball way. We was trying to play with confidence and a swagger. The players gave up, and it was heartless. I agree. Callum Canary, it's been coming, gutted but not surprised. I really feel like we had an opportunity to stay up. When we had the lockdown, we had a time to regroup, and we had definitely the best run of fixtures. And we've had Southampton at home, Brighton at home, West Ham at home, and Everton at home. 4 teams who are okay, but they're not world beaters. In all of them, we failed to register more than 2 shots on target. It's abysmal. It's absolutely abysmal, and the lack of creativity is a real worry going forward with this Fark side. Cameron Hassel, that's what happens when you don't have money in the league and refuse to change our ways of zonal marking. I agree. Norwich City have conceded a lot of goals from zonal marking in Farke's first season. Even in the season we got promoted and won the title, we conceded a lot of goals. That was our clear weakness, and we haven't addressed it. You know, Jamal Lewis is marking players twice his size, and zonal marking just doesn't work. But it has to be said, regardless of whether we're man marking or zonal marking, our ability to defend set pieces is truly woeful, and that's going to continue to bite us in the Championship, because I can't see us scoring as many goals as we did in the Championship last season. You can clearly see all the players are on different wavelengths. There's no chemistry, and you know, unless we have a serious rebuild and reinvest, I think that pattern could potentially continue in the Championship. Yes, we're playing against lower quality teams, but I still think that could continue. So we need to be better defensively, and the fact that we haven't addressed these areas is a real concern from Daniel Farke and the management and the coaching staff's point of view. Robbo, shocking, no fight, not got a point from behind all season. I think we're the only team in Europe's top 5 divisions to not get a point back from losing positions. And I'd love to hear down below in the comment section who you think is to blame, because you can blame Farke, you can blame Webber's recruitment, some will even blame Delia, some will blame the players. For me, it's a collective. It's absolute collective for all those areas being so poor. And finally, we end on Instagram with NLCS, awful, hello Championship shambles. And to be fair, the performances we're putting in at the moment are a mid-table Championship team. It's so important we rebuild in the summer by selling our youngsters, selling the likes of Godfrey and getting some good money for them, bringing in the new youngsters like Sam McCallum, like Adam Eder, because that's the whole point of putting in the youngsters. You sell them for high money, and then you keep bringing the youngsters in like a constant conveyor belt, like Southampton did. And then like what Burnley did with their model, you get good money in, and then you can reinvest that in the Championship and, you know, in the Premier League as well, although we haven't done that. But it's so important we reinvest in the Premier League. But today, an absolute shambles. Let's move on to some Twitter now. And what Alex Tetty says here is really interesting. Quoting, "We haven't got the mentality, that character that can help us take points." How damning is that when you've got your leader coming out and say, we haven't got that mentality, that character that can get us with points? How embarrassing that is. Alex Tetty's been great this season, probably at least in our top 5 players this season. But yeah, when you've got your leaders coming out and saying that's a real worry, and considering we had that in the Championship, that is a real worry. Yeah, you've hit the nail on Singing from the Nest, a really good fan page. You hit the nail on the head there. Jamal Lewis was marking Watford's biggest centre-backs, where Lewis and Aarons were marking 6'4" centre-backs. He hasn't addressed the problem since last season, where this was happening constantly. Yep, set pieces have been dire this season. We conceded our first 2 goals against West Ham from set pieces, conceded 1-0 in that 1-0 loss to Everton from a set piece, and so many goals from set pieces. And we'll continue to be punished from set pieces until we can defend corners better. Jack Mreeve, I almost feel sorry for Farke. Give his Championship shirt a shot in the Premier League and they repay him with this. So poor. It's really tough to attribute where the blame. Yes, Farke's team selection and tactics and substitutions have all been below par, but I do feel a bit sorry for Farke because the recruitment has been dreadful in the short term. Stuart Webber has not helped him out one bit. Duda and Brook, they're not Premier League quality players. The only Premier League quality player we've signed is Sam Byram. The rest have been dreadful. So I do feel Farke that he's not been given the money from, you have to say, the likes of Delia and perhaps the Stuart Webber and the help. But regardless, this Championship side who has shown character and have shown, like early on in the season, they've got the potential to do better what they're doing now. They should be at least competing and fighting in games. It's so poor, and yeah, I do feel sorry for Farke, but it could be that Farke's lost the dressing room, and unfortunately, when managers lose the dressing room, it could be time for them to go. Although I do feel Farke deserves a shot in the Championship 100%. Brad could say a lot and rant about how angry I am, but today feels more like an end of a chapter that was filled with so much drama, success and excitement. It is a shame how it's ended, but thank you Mr Farke and these players for the ride. City till I die. How heartbreaking is that? I think Farke's going to stay here next season, so I'm not sure it is the end of the chapter. We could see, reinvestment into the squad and Farke, being able to pick up the players who've done badly this season and, reunite them and bring in some new players as well to help the team. But yeah, it does feel like we're in a really bad situation at the moment, and I hope Farke can sort it out. I really hope that he can, because I like the guy and I like how he's brought in youngsters. But yeah, it does feel like such a shame. All the hard work we did last season has just been destroyed this season for a lack of, many reasons. Anna say, I'm so angry. Oh, okay, get the fact that they knew they were pretty much relegated, but that performance, well, it was feel like a slap on the face to the fans who have been so patient this season. Fans who deserve so much more than that. Sort it out. Norwich are better than this. Yeah, I agree, Anna. And look, we're a self-funded club. The fans pay. The income the fans give the club is a significant proportion. We're a self-funded club. We haven't got a lot of money. So the fans are really paying for a lot, and you've seen through the back of the virus that the fans not being able to attend, it really does hit the club's finances. So the fans contribute a lot to the club in terms of financially, and we have deserved better than this. Spud, a few months ago we were talking about Godfrey, Aarons, Buendia, Aarons being superstars and their value being millions, but since lockdown I think they've been like bad shares in the stock market. Millions have wiped lots of our players. If Ben Godfrey's worth 50 million, that is laughable. If Ben Godfrey's worth 50 million, then I've got to be worth at least maybe $1 million. I don't know, but yeah, for me, we need to cash in on some of these youngsters now, sell them on, bring in the new youngsters and reinvest into the squad to compete for promotion next season. Tom Pooley, relegation has been on the cards for a little while now, so I'm not surprised. Just really disappointed that the lack of fight was shown lately. It looked like the players given up a while ago too. Yeah, they look like they gave up since lockdown. Francis Moore, wonder where Buendia is going to end up. Really can't see him playing in the Championship. Me too. I'd love Buendia to stay, and for me, he's the only one who's really fighting. I know it's, Alex Tetty cares about the club and he's not posting on social media, but Buendia is the only one who does post on social media and seems like on the pitch he's trying to make things happen, but no one else really does. They all just look defeatist. NCFC Numbers, a great Twitter page who come up with some really good stats. This is a great stat. This is the first time in their 118-year history that Norwich City have lost 8 competitive games of football in a row. Not really a stat I wanted to share with you. And Darren Huckerby, of course, club legend for Norwich City Football Club, also Norwich City coached the under-23s. Hear this. Embarrassing. West Ham haven't had an easier game in the last 5 years. Antonio bullied us from start to finish. No pride, passion or fight on show. Players need to prove they want to be here next season. Just turning up on the pitch isn't good enough. Darren Huckerby, you've hit the nail on the head there. You've hit the nail on the head. And Darren Huckerby worked with the likes of Max Aarons and Jamal Lewis and Ben Godfrey. But he's right, the team together today have showed no pride, passion or fight. And you can blame certain players, but ultimately the whole team haven't been good enough. Farke's tactics hasn't been good enough. Stuart Webber's recruitment hasn't been good enough. So many contributing factors to Norwich City downfall. And yeah, I'm absolutely gutted. A terrible display today. Norwich City 0, West Ham 4. And we need to rebuild for next season. And it's going to be a big summer ahead for Norwich City. It's always interesting with Norwich City. And you always feel like Norwich City are a yo-yo club. But, if they don't get things right, then we could be looking at a long championship stay. Do I think that might happen? No, I'm hoping, Stuart Webber, I do believe in him still. And I believe, he's helped the club in the long term. And I do believe he can get things right. But yeah, this is a massive, massive summer now for Norwich City Football Club. Today, Norwich City weren't good enough all over the pitch and deserve relegation. Norwich City 0, West Ham 4. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. And thank you for all your support on Norwich City Central this season. And I'll see you later.